In this video, we're going to talk about the fill feature in Creative Studio. You can either fill inside or outside using a fill pattern of your choice. Fill modifies an existing pattern by only using one section of the pattern. It automatically sets the sewing status as unsewn. Background fill patterns are good candidates for this feature. As you can see, I have a background fill pattern on my CAD screen currently. I have also taken my machine head and used the Draw Boundary feature to draw a boundary around the heart applique that is on my quilt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on the pattern to select it. I will then right click and come down to fill. I can either fill inside or fill outside of the boundary. Remember, you have to have a boundary in order to do fill. Also, you can find fill up here on your tool strip if you have it there, with a little down arrow where you can choose either inside or outside, and you can left click on the icon of your choice. So I'm going to come to fill, and I'm going to do a fill outside. As you can see, Creative Studio has used the fill feature to fill outside of my boundary. Now this pattern uses the boundary to continue stitching. If I want to see a fill inside, I can right click on it, come to fill inside, and it will fill inside of the boundary. Now I also recommend you do a virtual stitch out when using the fill feature because not all patterns are made for fills. And what I mean by that is you can see that this is using very little stitching on the outer part of my boundary. If you see a bunch of overstitching, that is when it can get a little too thick on the quilt. So to see a virtual stitch out before you actually stitch with your machine, right up here at the top you'll see a little computer screen with a picture of a machine in it. If you hover your cursor over it, you will see that it says virtual stitch out. You can left click on that or click F2 on your keyboard. Once you start that process, you can see that a little blue circle moves throughout the stitching process. If you'd like to increase the speed, you can press the plus on your keyboard to increase the speed of the little blue circle, or you can slow down the speed by pressing the minus key. As you can see, this pattern is a great candidate for a fill.